Shaman Erica Rock, Spiritual Catalyst, here to discuss today how to remove toxic people from your life. So this is like a huge topic that we could probably do like a 6-month course on. But in the spirit of wanting to keep it simple, short, and sweet, here are the things that I've experienced in regards to toxic people and letting them just go right out of my life. So the first thing is realizing if someone in your life is toxic. Like we've got to be aware that we've got a toxic person in our life. So typically toxic people will, like if you've got a great idea, they'll immediately shit on it. They'll make you doubt yourself. They certainly do not celebrate you. They do not support you. They'll be negative in some form of or fashion. Red flag, huge red flag. When you're around this person, you'll start to feel uncomfortable in some way. You might start to feel anxious. You might have like that wanting to, like the fight or flight urge surge through you, and you literally want to run from them as fast as you can. Someone that makes you feel anxious, you start to just feel drained, energetically drained. And we often feel this way when we're around people that like to complain a lot and overly focus on what's not going right, what's wrong, and all that kind of stuff. People that are super judgmental. When you're around them, they will talk about all these other relationships in their life, and you've just got this feeling in you that if they're talking and judging all these other people, they're very likely to be judging you. And do we need people like this in our lives? Certainly not. Judgment is human in a lot of ways, but as we start to spiritually connect to the divine, connect to the light, want to embody our highest selves, that amount of judgment begins to dissipate, and we will notice really quickly if we are judging, and we'll shut it down because we become cognizant of it. So when I first started my awakening journey, my spiritual journey, I was really young. I was really young. So I still had like one foot in the partying scene, and I had a bunch of friends that loved to party and drink and do drugs and all these things. And I'm not judging anyone that wants to live that lifestyle, totally cool. But for my highest destiny path and purpose and energy and self-love and self-care, that needed to go. Well, once I started to open and connect to the light and elevate my vibration and my frequency, those people that were unhealthy and the unhealthy behaviors and things just started to spin out of my life. It's not like we had any fights or blow-ups or anything like that. It was just, it's really not personal, it's vibrational. And they just spun right out of my life. And I did go through this period where the old people had this like mass exodus and the new people hadn't arrived yet. Don't worry if you're finding yourself there, because those people that will see you, cherish you, applaud you, celebrate you, support you, they're on their way. They're on their way. We just sometimes are in this like little bit of in between, nothing to freak out over. Promise you, the new, beautiful, amazing people, they're on their way. They're on their way. So truly, a simple thing is just to start elevating your vibe. Realize that you deserve better relationships, that you deserve better. When we start to embark on the journey of self-love and self-care, one of the first things that we are called to look at are relationships. And, you know, a really great friend said to me at one point, keep the company of saints. And at the time I didn't quite get what she meant, but I do now. Like, I am surrounded by these most amazing goddesses, these super supportive, fun-loving, down-to-earth people that just have like a good heart and have a really beautiful perspective on the planet. And we all kind of keep each other in this higher vibrational space. That's when you know that you're like with your tribe, with your people. So very first thing, again, become aware that you've got toxic people in your life by looking at the signs. Mostly notice how they make you feel. And if it's any shade of shitty, they've got to go. And know that you don't owe them a huge explanation. Because you don't. It is enough that if you don't feel good around them, that is the best reason to make the choice to distance yourself, to block them, to not answer their call, certainly to not schedule, you know, time with them. If they don't make you feel good, that's all you need to know. That is all you need to know. That is your permission right there. And again, we do not need to overly explain ourselves, our choices that we are making in our lives, and how we are choosing to treat ourselves. We don't have to explain that to anybody, okay? It's deeply conditioned within us to overly explain. However, we don't need to overly explain. If it's a parent, a family member, someone like a coworker or something, you might have to have limited connection and correspondence with them. Do it in a way that reduces the amount of toxicity and negativity you're taking on. And this might take a little bit of trial and error, but end of the day, do what is optimal for you and what feels best for you. And if you know that you're going to have an interchange with someone that's kind of negative, complaining, toxic, brings your vibe down, brings your mood down, makes you doubt yourself, you might want to go do some extra connecting to the light, fortifying and strengthening yourself before you interact with them. Like, get as strong as you can, because you'll be more resilient. So we don't want to have to interact with them when we're feeling vulnerable, if there's a big life upheaval going on, when we're going through a lot of our own stuff and we're just not feeling that strong, not an optimal time to correspond. However, sometimes life circumstances serve it up that you've got to do what you've got to do and you don't have a lot of choice. Do your best. Do your best. And once you are away from them, cut cords. Connect with the light, fill yourself with light, fortify yourself, pump yourself back up. Watch a funny movie. Go out in nature, take a walk, be with your animals. Do things that make you feel good so you can just waft off their vibes, right? But honestly, just raising your vibration in and of itself in whatever way works for you tends to spin people that don't serve you and that are not vibrating at that same frequency. It spins them right out, kind of all on its own. So that's a huge gift, right? What else do I want to share about this? Making the decision to take care of yourself is so important. And it is your life, it is your body, it is your energy. You get to decide who you hang with, for the most part, right? For the most part. So do what feels good to you and do it unapologetically. Again, you don't have to overly explain yourself to anyone. At the end of the day, this is your life. These are your choices, your decisions, and you've got to do what serves you. And this is the path of spirituality. This is the path of self-love and self-care, and really taking care of yourself and honoring yourself and becoming your own best friend. So these are things that I lay down at your feet. Take what feels good, leave the rest. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. And if you want to go deeper with this conversation, definitely put your thoughts below and what has worked for you. And if you're still struggling with removing toxicity and toxic people from your life, put that below and we can go deeper into this conversation, okay? Because it is so one of my passions to help people live in the most optimal way where they're flowing with life and they're in harmony in their relationships, because relationships and our environments really, really, really impact us, and it can impact us on all levels. Physically, I've seen a lot of people get sick when they're just allowing toxic people to just keep feeding off of them, and abusing them and bringing chaos and drama and negativity and conflict and all that kind of stuff. So we owe it to ourselves to surround ourselves with a company of saints, people that see us, adore us, cherish us, celebrate us, and we can celebrate them. It's a relationship where you're being fed and they're being fed, and it's this beautiful synergy between you. And so we all deserve that. So if you have anything you want to share, I'd love to hear it. Deepen the conversation. And I hope that you found some value in this today, and it, even in some small way, gives you permission to say, no more, I'm done with this, and to make the changes that you need to make. Have the courage to make them. Don't be afraid that you're going to be alone or the people won't be replaced, because they will. I promise you that. So until next time, take care and all my love.